Kagera is the region in the far northwest of Tanzania, bordering Uganda, Congo, Rwanda and Burundi. It's about the size of Northern Ireland. Tanzania is one of the poorest countries in the world, and Kagera, far removed from Dar es Salaam, its capital, is one of its poorest regions. Its people are subsistence farmers who eat what they grow and sell any surplus as their only source of income. A Kageran subsistence farmer expects to earn £55 each year, with which to support 6 to 8 family members. When Dad has died from AIDS and Mum is now too poorly to farm due to AIDS, the situation is very much worse. There are an estimated 200,000 AIDS orphans in Kagera. 28% of the population are thought to be HIV positive, perhaps 1 in 3 women of childbearing age. The situation for the AIDS widows and orphans of Kagera could seem hopeless, but in Jeremiah we read about God's plans for them. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Tumaini means hope in Swahili. The following images portray the hardship and the hope in Kagera.
This is not an area that graces the pages of guidebooks. Kagera in northwest Tanzania, one of the poorest places in one of the world's poorest countries. Bordering Rwanda and Burundi, it took refugees from both during the genocide of the 1990s. When the world turned its compassion on them, Kagera was not on the agenda. Now it stands on the edge of a crisis. Rains have been poor since 2003. The signs of hunger are everywhere. In the town of Ngara, news of the first starvations begins to filter through. But it's not starvation that's tearing Kagera apart, not yet. Here, 1 in 4 adults has the HIV virus. Already it's thought there could be 200,000 children orphaned here. We found vast areas populated only by children, fighting to survive, when it seemed everything was against them. Eva is 5. Her parents died from the AIDS virus and passed the disease on to her. This family have taken her in, and now they receive Tumaini's help. The charity then an incentive for local families to help the children who need it. At the moment, that's keeping many children from starvation.
We call these children HIV orphans because we call them that if one parent has died of HIV/AIDS and their mother has died. Their father became hopeless because he knows that he also is dying, that the farm wasn't being farmed and nothing was being done. Oh. So the children had nothing, and the day we arrived they were starving. It's just wonderful today to see them actually looking so well. Yeah. Last time I saw them they looked very close to death.
The Tumaini Fund is based in Guernsey, founded in 2002 by GP Susan Wilson. Its goal, to get local children into primary education. Children like Alex. At just 16, he's the head of his family, brothers Edward and Ivana, depending on him for the last 4 years, since their parents were buried next to the family home.
My brother was 4 when my parents died. I would spend every day looking for food. There are lots of people here in the same situation. Before Tumaini, life was very difficult. We had no money and no books for school. But now I go to secondary school and we have enough to eat.
Here, a new phase of Tumaini is already at work. The first nursery this area will ever have known. And it's popular too, the children released from the daily grind of fetching food and water. The secret is sponsorship. If they don't have wages to earn, then they're free to learn. With orphans spread far and wide, having Tumaini workers across the region is essential. Orphans must be identified, registered and helped. But the journey doesn't stop there. They're monitored afterwards, supported and protected. And this is the answer, a network of local workers, all with the same goal, a battalion in Tumaini's army.
to help with both parts of the work, but this part of the work...
The Tumaini Fund spends all donations in the place they're needed. This new church on a hillside village is funded by members of Guernsey's St Saviour's Church. It's the most permanent building ever built here, a reassuring one. Tumaini, it says, is here to stay. It's a mountain made of hundreds of thousands of people. Guernsey's Tumaini Fund is climbing it, determined to conquer no matter how hard or how long the journey. The children of Kagera are missing the education, protection and love of a missing generation of adults. Tumaini is stepping in to fill that gap, giving clean water, food, clothes and schooling, the promise of support to take these children as far as they can go.
Lakini imekosekana.